And when I see it, I see stuff like that, and it's like something it got to be like the ley lines or something. It's like it seems familiar. You know what I mean? Like even if you watch anime, like it's like the steampunk era. All of this stuff is like what made steampunk so who the world it Tartaria is like steampunk. If steampunk was a universe. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Proclaim True back at it with another video. Hey guys, how's everybody's 2021 going? Hope everything's good. I got something interesting for you guys for this video right here. I know last video I was talking a lot about the shift in consciousness, a paradigm shift, and right now I'll take this time to kind of talk about some things I've been experiencing since that time. Okay, as of since like December 21st, 2020. So, guys, today we are going to talk about Tartaria. I think that's how you say it. Tartaria. All right. And this is nothing new. It's new to me. It's brand spanking new to me, all right? But it's nothing new. I see Facebook groups on it and videos on YouTube. But it's kind of been resonating with me lately because it's like the missing link, like a missing puzzle to the vast amount of things I already know. It was like this was a pretty well kept secret. And as you know, they say the victors are the ones that write history, and I think the story of Tartaria kind of will give us clues to that. But without further ado, guys, if you don't know what Tartaria is, apparently it's a country that encompasses most of Asia into the Americas, and like I guess from somewhere between, had to be during like medieval ages, Renaissance age and all that, 15th century, 10th century, somewhere around that time frame up until the 18th century. So I guess it came about because as countries archive like their libraries and everything, they upload these maps and everything from cultural centers within their respective provinces. And over the years, people have been coming across, just going on these sites and looking at these maps, looking at these photos over the years. And because, like I said, the internet is a central hub of information, people have been putting clues together. Otherwise, one person, you might look at it and not think much of it. But when you have 10 different clues from other areas, it all makes sense. And suddenly all these things that's been in our face the whole time, like plain sight, makes sense. All right. So with Tartaria, a lot of people believe it's the final. I'm not gonna say final, but it's a major clue in figuring out exactly what our home world, like what is the Earth exactly, and it may even have clues to the future because it will have clues as to the past. So the biggest thing that's floating around with this Tartaria stuff is the building types. Like the buildings were said to like almost be like living, like they were in harmony with their environment, and they could also harness energy from these ley lines and from this geocentric energy that I'm always talking about. And then it's funny that boom, now I'm coming across some stuff about Tartaria. I don't even remember how I came across it. It almost feels like a Mandela effect to me, but apparently people already knew about it. Like I said, it has a pretty good following, but I'm like, why haven't I heard about it? But maybe it wasn't my time. Maybe it wasn't time for it to be revealed to me until that paradigm shift or whatever. But looking at this information and look with the information that I already know of, looking at it from a biblical standpoint, oh my goodness, like what? And if you want to talk about time manipulation, I think George Orwell said something to the effect of history and the past and history exist within the mind and they're interchangeable. So, you know, so anybody can rewrite history. It only takes people in power, right? All right, so this stuff about Tartaria, apparently there was like a some people claim there was like a cataclysmic reset in the 18th century. Well, yeah, 18th century, 19th century, 18th into the 19th century. I don't believe that because you know we did have the transatlantic slave trade going on at that time, around this time frame. But there, it can also be some significance in that for those that know Deuteronomy 28. There's no doubt in my mind that it the world was crying out around that time frame, all right, because something of biblical proportion was happening around that time. But that's another story for another time. So the interesting thing, like I was saying about Tartaria, it's got these buildings, this architect, just this unique architecture that harvests energy and stuff. It's beautiful, and I can imagine how pristine it was like when they first built this stuff. And apparently humans, well, not human, I won't say humans, because apparently like modern citizens, once they drove out the Tartarians from whoever they were, they were like they had giants standing in these lands. But whenever I guess the Tartarians got to a weakened state, our humans were able to find a way to like kind of put them under their control to the point they start wiping them out for whatsoever reason. But they left cities deserted, and humans would just come in and build on top of it. That's why you see places like, in France and Europe, it's like whole cities built on top of other cities and built on top of other cities. And places like the White House, is supposedly a Tartarian building. Places throughout the West Coast, Utah, all the way up to the East Coast. And there was a lot of things, man, already in the Americas, and a lot of things these Native Americans say, yeah, we didn't build that. That was here when we got here. So it's crazy. And all these buildings have the same architecture, and it's not like those master artisans was flying around on planes way back then, or even on the ship to go build these buildings across the world, like we see in all these countries that end up being world superpowers at the time. It's kind of interesting. All right, so the interesting thing about Tartaria, whatever they were or whoever, I don't know what they did. Oh, there's some speculations that they were descendants of Phoenicia, and the more I look into it, the more I think it has something. Maybe they kind of broke off from the Byzantine Empire, or they were heavily influenced by the Byzantine Empire, because the Phoenicians kind of still exist. They existed through them, and they exist through, Rome, because Rome kind of absorbed them. They claim that they destroyed Carthaginian libraries and everything, but whenever somebody whenever you hear a country destroyed this, they didn't destroy it. They pillage it, and they take whatever's in that library and they use it for their own exploits. And that's how assimilation works. And we still see evidence of ancient Phoenicia or the Tartarians today. Just look at your dollar. Look at America. America's almost named. I think America's named. Don't get me wrong, Columbia. Either she's a Greek goddess or a Roman goddess, but nonetheless, she's a Phoenician goddess, almost like the Colossus of Rhodes, which is synonymous with the Statue of Liberty. Just check that stuff out. But she is the personification of America, and she is a Phoenician. And you check the history of the Phoenicians, man. Yeah. If you want to know why the world is the way it is, that's why I say the Tartarian, and looking into this stuff is a major clue in what's to come and what's to happen, because these guys, they're the perpetrators of why we have the monetary system we have, the freaking uh, the caste system that we have, all of this stuff, they erected it back then. And I know the Babylonians get a lot of flack for this, but the Babylonians, they were only like the initial, they were the initial city planners in Earth, you know, the Fertile Crescent and everything. But as you know, as time went on, these people, and I can't wait to start doing research on this stuff. I'm gonna dig deep because it is, you know, we get into God, Magog, Canaan. You know, the Canaanites, the Phoenicians were like descendants of the Canaanites, and you know, there was like God's chosen people, mortal enemy. So now, and you know, the devil, well, the opposition, Satan, whatever you want to call him, whatever the Most High do, he does the same. He try to replicate that. So if God had a chosen people, you know, to like do his will, you know, to bring about his Messiah, best believe Satan had one as well. And if you think they're gone today, you're sadly mistaken. There's biblical passages that talk about, it tells you who rules the world. It don't say God rules the world. Yeah, he had ultimate control. He's the ultimate authority. But right now, because it's his will, these dark forces rule over us. And there's no secret. So whoever still living in La La Land out there, wake up. Wake up. That's why you sleep and you in a matrix, because you don't want to believe this stuff. And they got clues all around you saying, ha ha ha, you know, gotcha. But it's more and more people waking up to this stuff. And you can't solve a problem if you don't know the root cause of it. You feel me? And it's deeper than racism. It's deeper than a lot of stuff. It's flesh and blood, good and evil. That's what it really boils down to. All the other stuff is derived from the, you know, these root sources and everything. You want to fit something, you go to the root. All right. So I'm real interested in this Tartaria stuff. If y'all have any insights on it, please send it to me. I'm about to start researching this stuff full detail. Like, yeah, there were maps that showed this empire, and on these same maps, you know, they were flat earth maps, and they had, you know, no ice caps, Antarctica with, you know, strange giant creatures and like huge animals we never seen. God, I'm telling you, it's a treasure trove of stuff, and we need to take advantage of it while we still can. Like a lot, like I said, countries have these national libraries, and now it's been digitized, so people are on the internet uncovering this stuff and making correlations, and it's eerie, because it's like, God, like it's almost like a movie, man, like Da Vinci Code or something. Like, what, you know, it's almost like a simulation. Like, you have to figure it out, like the lore behind stuff. As if the true meaning of life, a purpose, was figuring out why you're here, or, you know, just trying to crack the code. I know the words say that it's the glory of God to conceal a thing, and the honor of a king to search it out. So what that say to you guys? To me, it say, if you don't put in the work to go find something, you really won't know the true treasure. But when you putting in work, you studying, you know, history, you're studying these things, you're doing your research, studying the word, you would get spiritual downloads that enable you to like interpret this stuff, and to discern this stuff, and to see this stuff, you know. And that way, you know, you go to a higher state of conscious, to the point where the enemy can't pull a veil under your eyes like they can a lot of people. So that's the importance of that. But yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to like seeing what this Tartaria stuff is all about. It's crazy because I do a lot of research, and the fact that I missed this for so many years. How long was it? It almost feels like a freaking Mandela effect to me, because I never heard it. And when I see it, I see stuff like that, and it like something, it got to be like the ley lines or something. It's like, it seems familiar, you know what I mean? Like, even if you watch anime, like, it's like the steampunk era. All of this stuff is like, what made steampunk so who the world? Tartaria is like steampunk. If steampunk was a universe, it would be Tartaria. And if you're an anime fan, if you've been following this Attack on Titan series, that is Tartaria. That is Tartaria. I knew like it. Yeah, look at the build, the architect style. You know, they have technology, but still they kind of live in what we would deem kind of medievalish, primitive. And it's not only that. There's a lot of shows that kind of have that. They have the tech, but their tech is in a different way. But yeah, so what y'all think, man? Y'all let me know in the comments below. There's about to be some good stuff, and we haven't even drawn a correlation between. Right now, we know they had something to do with these, bloodlines and everything, but we haven't even tapped the veil on like their knowledge of, extraterrestrials and stuff like that. But we are 900% sure that they know. If anybody knew, they knew. All right, because they had the biggest empire on Earth at the time, and for some reason the rest of the countries couldn't wait to get rid of them, or whoever came to power couldn't wait to get rid of them and erase them from the history books. Kind of like what happened to Carthage. So yeah. So all right, guys. That's gonna wrap it up for this video. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell because we're about to be dropping some real stuff all 2021. We just getting started, guys. We just scratching the surface. We haven't even went deep into detail yet, but we will very soon, guys. All right, it's your boy Proclaim True. I'm out.